Hello everybody, and welcome back. It's Mr. JP. We're on Chainmail cam today because I'm not doing well against the war of chemicals that's being thrown at me. It started yesterday with a cloud of onions filling the house, and there's been toilet cleaners, and yeah, I'm feeling it. All of my sinuses are sore. I've got a massive migraine. Yesterday I was a rage machine. I wasn't worth talking to, and I apologise to friend who came round and sort of talked me down, which was kind of handy. I'm not a risk to anyone in that state, just to reassure everybody. It's just not good for my health. I've got, due to surgery and a doctor that was an incompetent, health problems, that high blood pressure is very bad. So yeah, it was kind of good he was there. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm very grateful to him. So yeah, we're trying a different format here today. Going to be playing some Out of Ore, just grinding down the mine, as it were. Sorry, I'm just checking messages at the moment. He literally messaged me as a start. It's a friend who was there for me yesterday, so I got to message him back. You can't go on about honour and honesty and being by your mates unless you buy them, you know. There we go. That's that bit done. And I'm just checking out the cam and making sure that that's still aligned, because I've got it mounted on a mounting that's untested. So, but yeah, that's pretty much in the right place. I can move the work around under the camera. So we'll work on focus length and everything later. I'm not a professional cameraman. We'll just see how this goes, because I want to share my hobbies and more of my life than my gaming, because I'm more than that. And if I'm out here and on YouTube, then you got to do that kind of thing. So yeah. So thank you all for viewing, and thank you for your patience in putting up with this if you stay and watch, because yeah, I'm not feeling it, so I'm probably going to go a bit quiet. Just going to concentrate on the gaming, really. And yeah, hopefully it should all work out, and I'll at least get some stuff in the game for you guys, and we'll get some progress on, because I've got plans for this map, but I'm just having a little bit of a struggle with functioning right now. I'm just trying to put on one of my gloves, which I've put on a million times, and I just give me a minute. My whole body's still shaking, and I keep on spasming occasionally, and this is purely the chemical buildup in my body from exposure to the salicylates affecting how my nerves work. In the long term, it would appear that conditions of acidification like this normally go along with damage to the brain, like your pituitary gland and that kind of thing, and that's what I'm suffering right now. Luckily, it should be fairly short term. I'll get some more food and sleep later on, and we should all be cool. Right, we're back in the map. I've expanded this floor by 2 blocks whilst in a really bad state this morning. Gone over this place with the roller, just done some of the long grind work, and just messaging my mate back again. Right, let's get into it. So yeah, at some point this whole production plant's got to go downhill, and I don't like the way it's working. So yeah, one thing I did do was also leave the game running so that these refineries could do some stuff. So yeah, that's what I better do first. Yeah. Maintain the stream of positive motivation in my head. Right, yeah, so yeah, eventually I'm going to be going down this hill with a road, and this is probably going to end up in the bottom of that valley there. And then if things go multiplayer, we'll be cutting up to the top there. So currently I'm running a single player game because of my mates who are interested. They're busy right now. They're having to work. So yeah, do some digging, get this going. I'm not happy with the way this plant is working, actually. Yeah, let's go do that. I need to sell stuff. I remember. Sell stuff, change how this works. I remember what the game was. So just move this out of the way. There we go. Oh, gosh. Yeah. You may think I'm crazy gaming with an absolute horror story of a migraine, but the fact of the matter is, I've spent 20 years with this without knowing that I was ill. So I'm quite used to working, doing detailed tasks, carpet fitting. High blood pressure spikes with a migraine are not good. The pain levels I'm in gaming with a migraine and stuff are actually relatively low, because this very much upset a friend of my parents when I was a kid. I got sent home from school with a migraine, and I lay down for like 2 hours, felt a lot better, and she found me sort of entertaining myself playing games because I still felt like crap, but I'm never happy not doing anything. I never have been. And yeah, she was like, she was faking being ill, rah, 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 and not faking being ill, just the fact that I looked ill enough and had said I had a headache enough for the teachers to send me home. So, you know, I've walked in for a busy shift at a pub on a Friday night, and the head chef has taken one look at me, and he needs me in there, and he sent me home because I looked so ill and I was shaking, and he didn't want me to fall into the fryer. So yeah, it's pretty severe. Right, yeah, there we go. Sorry, just messaging my mate back. We were talking about loads of stuff last night, and because I was a bit of a mess, I remember it, but it's kind of disjointed. And the worst part is my memories start halfway through yesterday, which is kind of weird. The early part of it, I literally don't recognize myself. I've got bits of it, but the only emotion I can remember is anger. And I know it wasn't that bad a morning. I was practical. Did loads of jobs and stuff whilst poisoned by the onions, figuring that I was going to feel like crud anyway, and I better get it done whilst I still had the ability to actually hold things. So yeah, all of the stuff that are mine yesterday, day before yesterday in the stream, processed and completely filled this container, which is a bit of a problem. So that's one thing I've got to quickly work on and think about. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, missions. There was an update done and stuff. So hopefully now when we do base load, and do some selling. How many do you need for it? Yeah, 3. Might have only been 2. No, it does just allow you to repeat them. Okay, cool. And that's what we're going to do for a second or two. We'll see how much cash this makes. Probably way too much. I might stop bothering with doing the mission bit and just sell it, to be honest. I've had enough. Mr. JP is in grind mode, but it's kind of grinding his teeth mode. Maybe I'll retitle the stream. Feel free to comment on the sidebar. I'll keep checking it sort of randomly, and if it's ages before I answer a question or something, just look at the stream once it's finished, and the answer will probably be 10 minutes behind when you ask, because I'm a mess. So sorry about that. Like, I don't know what to do. I wanted to be here for you guys who have been watching, because it's sort of quite a loyal person, believe in being there and that kind of thing. It's very difficult to let it go. You know, just the whole stream thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue cleaning out this coal. I think we're not even into the rock. I don't need it for melting down iron yet. There's so much here that's going to come off that it's just a profit material. It really is. I'm wondering whether I should just fill this up again with coal and open up the cell hole and just let it pour off to sales automatically. I don't know. And since I currently with the reason why it's not a good idea to go to work or do anything with this kind of migraine is I cannot make a decision. I'm not safe. You know, I feel like that's Stone Sour song. I'm tired. I'm not safe. Yeah, no kidding. Hazard to myself right now. I'm 6'6" and I'm so dumb at the moment. I wouldn't even duck in a doorway, like a low one. You know, I just walk into it. And this did happen so many times when I was working when I was ill. It was just unreal. So yeah, what I'm going to do here is get a piece of. I need two of those. I need 2 of those. I need some new brain cells if anyone's got some spare. But we'll see how far this bit allows me to go anyway. I will be using these bits of concrete again, but I'll get those out of the way for the moment so I can put that in up there. There we go. So yeah, I've got the conveyor splitter and the conveyor merger here. So what I'm going to do is put the conveyor merge. That's 2 into 1. So what I want is a splitter here. Right. Yeah, so it goes on there. And it goes on there. Now, hopefully that's not going to leak like crazy, but if it does, then clean up to aisle 4. Yeah. So yeah, and then I'm going to put the mergers on the other end, because what was happening was these 2 middle lines, due to the way I just line up and dump and I don't really think about it, were becoming more loaded than the other 2. And I want all 4 processors running at once because I want to try and crash the game with a memory leak. Yeah, I know. Once a tester, always a tester. Once an engineer, always an engineer. And there are 2 schools of engineers. There are people who build stuff that's beautiful, and I love them, and I think they're great. But to be honest, I'm a destruction engineer. I like breaking stuff and seeing how we can make it better. Oh, come on, I needed more than that. Oh, dear. Yeah, and I was going to be quiet during the stream. This is the consequence of like 3 or 4 years of not socializing due to COVID, social isolation, and honestly, obviously beforehand in my life I was hanging around with people who just weren't worth it. But hey, there we go. All right, open that up a bit so we can see if there's an accident happening. I may have to open this up and replumb. I don't know if conveyors join on both ends like that when you fill in the gaps, whether you have to tree them still. So they have to grow from one point. So you can put the middle in and then build in either direction. But if you cut the middle out and put it back in again, they used to leak. I don't know if they still do. I may be being paranoid. But yeah. Okay, here we go. Should I get the dumper in? I've got the cash. Might save me a load of time. Yeah, but putting it in each time individually with the loader, and we'll start long range so I don't have to drive over the spill again and again. Ooh, GPS setup, JP. You have to set your GPS up every session. I haven't done any mining, so since it seems to set the GPS kind of high. So yeah, that's where the bucket is. So I'm just looking at this closely. I've been setting it up and not really watching what I've been doing, just doing it fast. So yeah, you bring up your own inventory or the vehicle's inventory because you sat in the vehicle, and just click the set 0 button that's just below the menu here. You can see these blue and white bars aren't lined up. It's higher, which is interesting. So that's where apparently I just set the 0 to, which looks like the center line of the bucket. So, or even the top of the bucket. There's definitely a misalignment here. I'm gonna, if I remember, get that through to the skunk works as a mention, because it doesn't work like that on the other one. It's not a consistent sort of thing across the vehicles. It might be because it's something to do with how the excavator's lined up or something that's come across. We'll find out. Yeah, no, driving like this is like way too long. I'm going to get one of the dumpers in. This is the biggest loader. It must be able to handle the medium dumper, surely. Or rock truck, as they're called in the game. There we go. A little bit of an autosave there. Oh, they're all turning. So we'll go with that working, I guess. So yeah, if I'm digging out here, I'm going to want the dumper around there. I'm not going to go much further than where I've gone to. So yeah, let's get the rock truck in. Let's do some more purchasing. Going to come down to the concrete just because it's just that little bit safer, really. So yeah, vehicles, and you want the rock trucks. There they are. They're at the top. Oh, somebody save me. Maybe I need more light in here. I might turn on my top light in a sec. So yeah, this one's 100. Yeah. And that one's 220. And that one's 320. But I don't know if this loader can even reach it, because I seem to remember it's absolutely huge. So I'm going to try this medium one out, because I've still got enough money then for the smaller one. Right. Excuse me a sec. Ouch. There we go. Just going to turn the light on once this drops in, and then I'll be back in like 30 seconds or so. There we go. Right. Once that light bulb warms up, I might start feeling a bit better on the eyes. Because if I'm going to start working with that little tiny wire again, I'm going to need my eyes feeling a bit better. Zoom out. God, that's too clean. That needs dirtying up. Jeepers, that's horrible. Yeah, that's the best way to do this, is that way round. Something a better check is that it still fits the hopper, otherwise I'm going to have to get really creative on those merge things. So yeah, it looks as though it fits the hopper. Okay, that's cool. However, that's not cool. Need to move forward. Right. Because what's not cool is reversing a dump truck into a hopper. That's just not cool. So it's time for the railings. It's time to get decorative, baby. Yeah, let's get decorative. Steel. Yeah, the railings are in with steel. The DLC railings are under the DLC or decoration stuff. So I'll go with these. And the rest of it will probably be other bits. We'll see how it goes. Start with 6. See whether I like it, whether I don't. I mean, they're in red, but I'm sure that's changeable somewhere. I'm going to live with it. Sort of like red oxide paint. I've used a lot of it over the years. Not that unhappy with the finish it gives you. Obviously, it's basically only an undercoat, but you can use it as an external finish. It's fine, depending on the brand, obviously. So yeah, let's go drill. Let's see how this goes with the biggest one, because it might be that these are designed for the excavators and the loader's really going to struggle, but let's see how it goes. No, I'll take it. A little load graph that comes up when you're external of the vehicle and disappears would be kind of cool. But these are quality of life things for much later once the game's got everything sorted, I guess. Interesting sound effect there as I drove forward. I don't know what that was about. Might be me hitting the truck, actually. Bit better load. Much more like it. See, that's starting to look a little bit full. See how that goes. I need to park the dumper slightly differently. It's counterintuitive, that one. No, that wasn't quite square enough. So there's 6 fence posts there. So this dumper's 4 blocks wide, so it'll perfectly fit some kind of bay. Was it? Yeah, there we go. That all went in one side. This is going to be fun. Might rig up this dumper bay a little bit differently. But yeah, they're all firing, so that's kind of cool. Park that way around this time. Oh yeah, I can tab between vehicles. I'm in solo mode. That's all right. Seems to be the difference between multiplayer and solo. You can't tab between vehicles in the multiplayer mode at the moment, but that might have changed in the update. I need to have a little look-see. This might be, I don't know. Today I really don't know. I mean, for those who drink, this is how I used to feel when I went drinking. However, I'm not sure if it was alcohol or what's in, you know, all of the drinks that made me feel this way. So, because whilst being a lightweight, I could drink an awful lot of certain drinks, like bottles of whiskey and stuff. And because of my size at the time, I could walk in a straight line, I could talk, you know. So hangover-wise, I was expecting bad ones, and they weren't any worse than how I felt on a Monday morning after a healthy weekend with a good night's sleep and a load of good food. So realistically, at the time, I couldn't tell the difference between, you know, a hangover and a normal sort of Sunday morning, because that was the thing. It wasn't like I was work shy. I was losing my weekends. That's when you know you're ill. It's when you choose to stay in and sleep instead of going out with your mates. It makes you unreliable, and then you're not very popular. It's that simple. So yeah, that's life. Got a feeling you only get about 4 bucketfuls. That was number 2. So. But yeah, I need to get away from the whole it's wasteful thing and just start digging, I think. There's so much resource here. Oh, they do change colour by percentage mass. Awesome. Sorry. That looks like it's in overload. I'm going to be honest, though. That's probably in overload. So it does appear there's no point in overloading. It's just going to spill. If I was driving forward, there'd be lumps everywhere, but I think because the vehicle runs it over, it stops them from forming, which is kind of handy. Kind of handy. So tip that one in there again. 2 of the machines stopped turning. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to tip from both sides. That's the conclusion there, or the end, possibly the end. So I'm probably going to end up railing it all. Okay, now we know. We want a little bit of angle on this, like so. Always shut down your engine when tabbing between vehicles in single player, because otherwise it'll leave it running and it'll be empty. That'll park next to your fuel thing or have a fuel truck and be willing to use it. Otherwise it's going to give you trouble. You're going to wonder why your vehicles are out of fuel. So yeah, just keep digging. Make like Dory. I doubt Nemo's in the hill, but you know, Disney are going to sue me. But yeah, to be fair, you know, say how you get known in the media, get sued by someone really rich and you are famous and can tell your story or whatever later on. That way you can pay what you owe for the legal bills. Sorry, I'm in a very ironic mood today. And I will be disappearing off on coffee, and I need to get some food in me as well. I think get my system going, get the filters in the kidneys and the liver going, get this crud out my system, and I might feel a lot better. I mean, that looks pretty full. Should I try and get more on it? Yeah, why not? It's just a matter of having to roll the area if it spills, you know, in a massive way. So, get in there, and that's the back end of the deposit, so I'll probably stop around there. Just gives me a little bit of room for maneuvering when, you know, taking out the car. So. Oh, that's definitely full. It's spilling off the back. Not too many steering inputs, seems to keep the load on, which is good. Ooh. Yeah, that's how I used to line them up. There we go. Essentially put your camera where the mirrors would be down the side of the vehicle. It makes everything a lot easier. I could just inventory the compactor, but a little bit of roleplay realism is appropriate in a very, very strong current sandbox situation. In my opinion, you've got to make your own fun in this game. It's very, very much use your imagination. But yeah, being salicylate intolerant and not knowing about it must be hell. There's 1.2 million people out there like me, and the NHS does not recognise the illness. So those people are all being diagnosed with depression and chronic fatigue syndrome and a few other things when in fact they just need to stop